welcome. My name is Lexi Jong, and here I like to talk about luxury makeup. And today, in celebration of the first day of spring, we are going to be discussing my top 5 favorite products from the spring 2021 collections. So top 5 spring launches, plus a few honorable mentions. So today's video is in collaboration with my friend Allison Chase. And if you aren't already following her, be sure to check out her channel. She is fantastic. She's a makeup artist and esthetician. She also provides services if you would like to have one-on-one consultation with her for, any recommendations or any help with any problems you're having and things like that. So definitely check out her channel. Now, as I said, I consider Allison to be the queen of Chanel, and that's because she loves Chanel makeup. She does a lot of looks, and one of the best things about her channel is she's not all about getting the newest and latest new releases all of the time. She really goes and picks and chooses specifically what she wants, and then she will reuse those products several times on her channel. So you're going to continue to see those same ones. So if you've picked up the same items that she has, then she will continue to show you and inspire you on different ways to use those items. And I find that very useful. It's definitely something I would like to integrate more into my channel as well. So Allison, if you haven't already followed her, make sure you head over there. And let's go ahead. We're going to start with my launches. And then when you're done, you can head over and watch Allie's video. And as always, her video is linked down below in the description box. So be sure to check it out. For spring 2021, there have been an insane number of makeup launches and things are still rolling out. There have been a ton of new products, and sometimes when companies release a lot of products, a lot of them really aren't that great. This year, I feel like we've had some really stellar products come out, and it was really hard to narrow it down to a top 5. So I don't have my top 5 ranked. I have 5 that I consider to be absolutely wonderful, fantastic. And then I also have 3 honorable mentions, sort of like runners up. So without further ado, let's get started. First, I'm going to start off with the lipstick I have on. So I have on a light look in honor of spring today. And this case is not spring. This was actually the Guerlain Rouge G case from the holidays, but it's my favorite case. So I put my favorite lipstick in it right now, or my favorite Guerlain lipstick. So this shade here is called Pearly Rosewood. This came out with the Guerlain Spring Collection, is number 76. It is hard to find on retailers right now. However, as of right now, it's available on the Guerlain website. So if you are able to order directly from Guerlain, they do have this shade right now. So there were 2 shades released. I like both shades. This one here is number 76, Pearly Rosewood. And this is considered one of the sheer shine lipsticks, but it's creamier than the sheer shine lipsticks with the faceted bullet. These have a creamier texture, more similar to the satin finish, which is my preference. And this color is just the perfect soft pink shade for me. I absolutely love it. Whether you go with this shade or something different, I definitely recommend a soft pink lip for spring. I really love it. It's very fresh. And it goes with pretty much everything. Moving on to another one of my top 5. This is another lipstick. This is the Hermes limited edition. This one's number 52, Coral Aqua. It was hard I picked up the 2 bright colors and it was hard to figure out which one I liked more, but the more I've been wearing these, the more I've realized that this coral shade is my favorite. So it's more of a pinky coral. It's not really a true coral to me. So I would say it's more of a bright pink with coral in it. And it works really well on my coloring. So it's pretty neutral in tone, slightly cool. And a lot of corals usually run a bit warm. And this one works for me because it doesn't do that. So whether you pick this particular shade or not, I do think some sort of bright coral lip is really nice and fun for the spring. So Hermes Coral Aqua would be my number 2 pick. And next up, we have something else on my eyes, the eyeliner. Now I have this Suku. This is the Nuance eyeliner in 03. This is a permanent shade in the new Suku collection. And this is a liquid liner, but look at this gray. See how it's like a mid-tone gray? It's not super dark. It's not charcoal. This gray is, I'm really starting to see a lot of this. The new Gucci eyeliners has a pencil that is almost this exact same shade. I think it's called Anthracite, but this kind of like mid-tone gray is really having a moment right now. I think it's perfect for spring. So on my eyes, I have like a light pink shadow and then this gray. And I personally really love soft pinks with gray. So whether you pick up this one or the Gucci one, or Victoria Beckham has a new gray liner as well. That one's going to be deeper, but I really think a gray eyeliner is the perfect choice for spring right now. And it's going to transition really well into the fall season also. So I really think, gray eyeliner is going to be my number 3. And moving on, we have the Chanel Spring Blush and Highlight Duo. This is Fleur de Printemps, and this one is just so beautiful. So you have a highlight shade and a blush shade. Let me show you those all together here. So we've got the highlight, the blush, and the two of them mixed. Right now, this is what I have on my cheeks with them mixed together. And I just think they are so fun and fresh for spring. And it's one of those shades that's really buildable. So if you have fair skin like me, use a light fluffy brush, you can apply it and you get a really beautiful kind of corally sun-kissed look to your cheeks. But if you have deeper skin tones, this is totally buildable. And if you use a denser brush, there's like no effort required to get pigment on this. So I think it's really pretty. They're pretty on their own. Most of the time I wear them together like this. I just really love this blush. And I almost passed on it originally because, in the pan, I thought this might be too warm and too dark for me. It's perfect. I absolutely love this one. And my number 5 product is probably not a surprise, and that's the new Sisley blushes. So I really love all of the products in this new blush line from Sisley. I have all 6 of them. Definitely have videos on those if you haven't seen them yet. But if I had to pick 1 or 2 colors, it's really hard to choose. I think my overall favorite shade is probably Rosewood because it fills a void that I had in my collection. You can see this shade here. It's got some nuances that are a little bit different than blushes I already had. Now this formula is what makes this blush so special. The other shade that I think is great for spring and summer is Coral. So I think they're both great. If you have the Chanel, you might want to go with the Rosewood. But if you like to do double duty, pick one or the other. That's kind of how I think about it. But in general, this formula I think is a standout formula. This is my current favorite blush formula. So what I think is so special about these blushes is this formula. This formula, I mean, it's technically a powder, but it's creamy. It's almost like a gel cream powder hybrid. And it goes on very smoothly. These are incredibly pigmented, so you don't need a lot of product. I definitely recommend using a buffing brush with these because when you buff this into your cheeks, it just looks so incredibly natural. But because of the formula of this product and that creamy texture to it, it really ends up looking like it is part of your skin. It melds into your skin. It's sort of like it melts into it, kind of like a cream blush would, but with the same power of powder. And I'm 39, I'll be 40 this summer. And this blush, I have to say, I mean, yeah, I don't have super mature skin yet, but it's transitioning. And this is one of those blushes that doesn't accent things that you do not want to be accented. So it doesn't settle into any fine lines, and it looks so natural. It doesn't accentuate any wrinkles or anything like that. So I just think it's a fantastic formula, and it's one of those formula that really will work well for younger people and older people alike. And they have a really nice range of colors so far. I really like them, and I think they are fantastic. So if you haven't tried one of these Sisley blushes, I highly recommend them. And they are pricey. I mean, these retail for $80, 80 US dollars. And You know, they are now at other retailers and so forth. Wait for sale, pick one up, try it. You'll probably be hooked like me. I started with 2 and I now have all 6. They're that good. Okay. So those were my top 5 favorite products for spring 2021. And again, whether you go with the specific item that I showcased or something similar, I do think that all of them have, you know, tones and qualities to them that are very in for spring right now, spring and summer. So I do have 3 honorable mentions. One of them is the Viseart Paris Love Letter palette. So I do have a review, I have a review of all of these items on my channel. So this is this palette here. And one of the things I really love about this, first of all, these are the 1.5 gram size. All of these pans are removable. You can rearrange them, you can mix and match them with other shadows and so forth. But you can see how many of these peachy neutrals you have. A lot of times when you see like a peachy neutral, it's really got a warm base to it. And that works well for, you know, so many people who have warm undertones. But there are some of us who have neutral and cooler undertones, and those shades just don't really work quite as well. These more peachy shades actually have neutral undertones in them. So they work well for me and I can use those peachy looks. And there are also like a mix of cooler tones in here. You've got brights, you've got mattes, you've got shimmers, and you've got neutrals. So you can do something very conservative for example, for work. You could do a very conservative, matte, sophisticated eye with this palette. You can brighten it up with some of these shimmers. So just a couple. The purple and the gray here at the bottom. These are my 2 favorite shimmers from this palette. And these are a wet dry formula. So if you want to get them wet, they are going to be a lot more intense. Now this gray shade, I'm not sure if you can see as I shift, you can see that there are actually brown tones in here. And in some lights, you're gonna see more of that brown tone. But you can see that it's sort of like there's a brown base with gray on top. You can see it more where it like spreads out. You see more of that brown there now. So I just think it's a really interesting color and it's fantastic. So that's part of what I have on my eyes today. I have used this peachy shade. I have the purple on the lower lash line, and then I have this grayish brown shade on the outer corner. So I think they're fantastic. Let me just show you a couple of the mattes here. So that's these 2 here, which are probably my 2 most used mattes, but I just think they are so nice, so sophisticated. And you haven't tried Viseart mattes yet, you're missing out. In my opinion, they are the best matte eyeshadow formula on the market. They're really fantastic, easy to work with. They're buildable, and if a color is too light for you, even the mattes are wet dry formula. So you can definitely use them for that. And I believe they're vegan and cruelty free and everything as well. So this Paris Love Letter palette is one of my runners up. Now my next runner up, I wanted to put Dior Pink Sakura, but this palette, they didn't make very many of them. They, you know, not very many people are able to get it before it's sold out, and it's fantastic, but I kind of felt bad including that when it's something that was so hard to get. So I decided to use Dior's Blooming Bouquet. So I have this on my eyes. This is the soft pink, the middle shade, that's over my mobile lid. And then I have a little bit of this shade in my crease along with the peach from Viseart. And then this is on the outer corner of my lower lash line. So I really love this palette. It's going to give you very soft, light looks. And it's kind of got like these pinky purple shades. Here's the first 3 shades. One of the things I love about Dior palettes in general is that they have a mix of finishes. Every time you're going to have some mattes, you're going to have some shimmers, you know, you might have a topper shade in there, but I think all of the shades work really well. And another thing that's great about them is in every single palette that I picked up in this new Dior formula, they have a mix of undertones in there as well. So they're always going to have some cooler shades and some warmer shades in every palette. So if one particular shade doesn't work well for you, you can mix it with something else to get that to work for you. But regardless, you have other shades in the palette that really will work well. So these are two of my runners up. Now, Blooming Bouquet is not available anymore, unfortunately. It was available though for a longer period of time on the Dior website, so I felt comfortable including that one. So hopefully if you weren't able to get that, you are able to find something fairly similar to this. One other thing I'd like to mention about this palette here is I'm not a huge fan of pink eyeshadow because most of the time they're very warm and they make my eyes look, red, bloodshot, kind of sickly. So pinks like this, however, this more of this like petal pink, and then this one is it's actually got a touch of lavender. This is the shade that I have on my eyes right now. These have a little bit cooler undertones, and that's the type of pink that works for me. So if you have similar coloring to me and you've written off all pinks, try something more like this. If you're looking for maybe a little bit of pink with a little bit of lavender mixed into it, something a little bit cooler toned, like more of that soft petal ballet pink, those are the types of pink shades that work well for me. And when I wear those, I actually really, really like them. I feel like they make my eyes look a little bit bigger. And of course, I think that shade goes so well with the gray eyeliner trend right now. And for my last runner up, I chose the Guerlain Meteorites. Now, just like the pink Sakura palette from Dior, the pink pearl ones, they're gorgeous. I love them as a blush. They were really hard to get. They actually didn't come to the US at all. I ordered mine through Selfridges, and I think I only saw them restock them one time and then they didn't come back again. So they were really hard to get. And you could have done like a personal shopping order with Tadia Chic Profile Official on Instagram. I'm not sure if they're still available in the UK, but I know some people were able to get them through Tadia. I think these are fantastic, but what I actually use the most is the other shade. And this one is still available on the Guerlain website as of this filming. And this is the Pearl Glow shade. Now, if you already have the light ones, these are fairly similar in color. So here's the light and here's Pearl Glow. So the Pearl Glow, you've got a few more of these like pearly luminescent balls in here, kind of more of this like champagne color. Whereas in here, you've also got some aqua, and this more, it's a little bit more of a golden ball versus this, which is more champagne. You see the difference here, like more yellow and more champagne shade. Sorry, I always end up spilling these when I'm showing these on camera. So there's a little difference in color. It's not something that's going to be super noticeable on the skin, but what is a little bit more noticeable on the skin is just that these are slightly more luminescent. I wouldn't go as far to say that they're sparkly, but they are a little bit more shimmery than these. And what I like to do is buff them into my skin as an all-over finishing powder, and they give me this really nice soft glow. And if I go overboard with like blush or something, this is a great powder to help tone that down and kind of give some extra luminosity to the area as well. So I think that's really nice. Now, these can also be used as a highlight. There's a bunch of crushed powder down at the bottom. So sometimes I'll use this as a dedicated highlight, and I just take a little, a small highlighter brush, kind of like this. So this is the Sonia G Mini Cheek. So I'll take something like this and I'll stick this down at the bottom and dust that on. Here, I can actually show that to you right now. As always, dropping balls. So I just got a little bit here, and you can use that as a highlight as well. So definitely a fantastic product. It's beautiful as a highlight. It's beautiful as an all-over product. And when I am using this as an all-over product, I like to use either the Sonia G Phase 1 or the Sonia G Smooth Buffer Brush. That's the little sister to this one. And either I dab this on the pearls, or you can shake it and get some product on the lid. And that's all you need is what's on the lid then. So I'll just stamp it on and buff it in, and you get this beautiful luminous sheen. And if you've had any harsh lines with any of your makeup or something didn't blend quite as well as you want it, this will kind of like hide that and give you this airbrushed look. So I just think it's a really versatile product. Now, again, if you already have one of the other shades, they're going to be similar enough on the face that you don't need to get these, but I do really like these. So this is the Pearl Glow color. And again, right now it's available on the Guerlain website. And I will leave purchasing information for all of the products I discussed here today down below for anything that is still available. So that is everything for my top 5 releases and my 3 runners up. I hope this was enjoyable. I'd love to know what you think about the items that I selected down below in the comments. And I'd love to hear what you would put in as well for your top 5. So again, there were so many great releases. It was really hard to decide what to choose. But I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if you are here from Allison's channel, thank you so much for joining me and welcome. Please consider joining our community here. And if you haven't watched Allison's video yet, please be sure to head over there and let her know I sent you. I cannot wait to see what she ended up choosing as her favorites. We did not, kind of coordinate. We wanted to make sure that we were really sharing just what our favorites were. And so we didn't even share any secrets with each other for that. So I cannot wait to see what she ended up choosing. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope you have a great day. Stay safe and healthy and happy spring. Finally excited for some better weather to come.